And now, the government has gotten involved and is starting to, again, under public pressure, make some changes and mandate some changes on that product. But again, being that, specifically in this home, we've chosen Delta products. A couple of reasons. Delta is manufactured in Canada, and that's one of the things that's unique about Delta. They're one of the only manufacturers of faucets that do some manufacturing in Canada. And secondly, because they've got a very ongoing and early involvement in water management, and as well as being a manufacturer who's obviously a lifetime warranty manufacturer and a major player in the market in North America. So specifically in this home, we've got two products. That is the Arzo line and the Grail line. I brought some literature with me today that we'll be able to review. And I mean, we can physically look at and see the faucets. But what we'll talk about is, what makes them different going forward and what kind of performance things they've done. So I've just sort of impromptu grabbed the web page. I had a presentation I wanted to show you today from Canadian Institute of Heating and Plumbing. Unfortunately, technology failed me today and I'm not able to share that with you. So I'm just going to go through with what Delta is doing. As a company that delivers water every day through more than 150 million faucets worldwide, Delta Faucet Company provides products that addresses today's water conservation needs as well as water purity and accessibility. These smart water delivery solutions maximize water efficiency and the lifespan of the product without sacrificing the comfort and convenience for the end user experience. We routinely evaluate our manufacturing, packaging, and shipping processes to find ways to conserve resources and energy and reduce the impact of our enterprise on the environment. So, obviously, being a responsible company is not just what products that you produce and put out in the general market, but it's how you manufacture and how you conduct yourself in the marketplace and your day-to-day business. We're going to move forward to the resources section here. Why it matters, obviously, as a company. I went through that. Sorry, environmental programs. That's what I'm talking about. Delta Faucet company is committed to several sustainability initiatives. As WaterSense partner, that's a trademark, we'll talk about that. Delta Faucet Company works with the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, to offer WaterSense labeled products that operate at 1.5 gallons per minute at 60 psi, pounds per square inch, which is approximately 30% more water efficient than the standard 2.2 gallon per minute laboratory. While meeting or exceeding the performance of typical faucets, our products are designed to offer maximum leadership in energy and environmental design, or LEED, points, and standardized by the U.S. Government Green Building Council and as applied by the Canadian Green Building Council. So everybody in this room understands what LEED is all about. I take it because we're all, obviously very educated in that. This is a commitment that Delta has made going forward in compliance there as well. This webpage has got a savings estimator, very much like that, so we're able to actually calculate for the consumer, and this is just the consumer webpage. Anybody can jump on this when building a home, what kind of savings as far as water and footprint they can make throughout the year in their home by making wise environmental choices. So I just want to go back to specific products. Bear with me for one moment here. WaterSense labeled shower heads. This is something that you may have seen in the wash one this side of the home here. This specific style shower head. It's very unique looking, very stylish. It's appealing to the consumer, but the idea behind it is really to give a nice balance between that comfort that you mentioned before and water consumption. So with bathing and showering accounting for 35% of the residential indoor water uses in Canada, the EPA has developed new standards for water efficiency in the shower. Delta Faucet is one of the first in the industry to qualify for this new WaterSense program developed by the EPA. So the WaterSense program is a great deal like the EnerGuide program, or sort of the help me out.
Energy Star.
Thank you, Energy Star program for specific to water standards, and of course we're really following the lead of the Americans on this, but it's encouraging that we're making changes. Currently, over 50% of Delta's bath suites feature shower heads and hand showers which meet the water sense requirements, with 7 of those suites featuring the H2O, well, we'll talk about that specifically, shower head that flows at 1.5 gallons per minute while providing a feel of an enhanced 2.5 gallon per minute shower head without sacrificing the comfort and convenience of the end user. Basically what it does is it's a shower head that uses larger drops of water to deliver to you. There's 2 benefits to that. First of all, you get a much warmer shower by being enveloped with that warm water rather than a mist. What we used to do, or the sense was, we're going to take a shower head and we're going to take and really restrict how much water flows through that shower head. And that way we're going to consume less water. The unfortunate result is that you end up getting hit with a mist. And the mist in small water droplets ends up actually wicking heat from your body. And so many of us have had that experience before. The H2O Kinetics shower head uses a much larger water droplet and hits you at lower frequency, but you get a sense that you're completely enveloped by it. It sustains or retains that heat and that energy when it hits your body, and you feel much more comfortable, and we're able to get a good full shower experience by using considerably less water. And again, we're talking about a difference between 1.5 to 2.5 to 1.5 gallons per minute in consumption going on here. As Delta strives to achieve and increase water efficiency across our lines, we take our role as WaterSense partners very seriously. Delta Faucet Company is committed to working with the EPA to encourage efficient use of water resources and actively protect the future of our water supply. Delta shower heads and hand showers, which meet WaterSense requirements, use between 20 to 40% less water than the industry standard. I'm going to stop there. I just want to talk about that. 20 to 40% less water than the industry standard. I want to point that out by saying that that's still the industry standard. So that's the manufacturing guidelines that manufacturers have to live up to. That's a considerable difference, and certainly there's a great deal more work to be done in encouraging manufacturers to start to fall in line, because that means that most of the faucets and shower heads that you're able to buy in the open market today are still really producing and using the kind of water that we used last time, maybe 1975, when those changes were made. So it's a substantial problem internationally, and certainly here in Canada we're a little bit slow to fall in line, but I'm encouraged that there's movement from the manufacturing. Let's see. Then the industry standard, while our laboratories, which meet WaterSense requirement, use 32% less than Altiform as well, or better than the less efficient counterparts. So that's something that's very important. Again, the issue is that more people are going to make change, more people are going to take a more responsible approach to their personal responsibility to environmental stewardship if we don't have to sacrifice all the things that we enjoy. That's really the balancing act. And if we're able to find manufacturers that are willing to put the dollars, the intent into a manufacturing effort that's going to produce products that are going to be able to keep people happy on both ends of that, then inevitably change is going to start to happen. We're seeing that now with the WaterSense, with the EPA. People are really wanting to be part of that. Peer pressure is a big part of that too in manufacturing. There's a community out there, and it's important to fall in line with changing trends. Certainly we don't see a lot of things out there without an Energy Star sticker on it now. That's something that's very, very slow to change. I remember the first Energy Star sticker I saw was on a computer monitor. It was probably 2001, 2002. I'd never seen one before. Now it's been an enormous change, and that industry in electronics is taken very seriously. So there's great things coming down the pipeline. I know that the other manufacturers are going to start to fall in line. I think that we expect to see these kind of initiatives adopted across the board. I know that our industry is in continuous talks with manufacturing and with the governments to make sure that there are changes for plumbing code that support those things. For example, size of discharge lines, the different infrastructure in the home that takes to support the changes of the little things like faucets, and make sure that the products going forward and the way that they're tied into the home are comfortable, usable, and attainable for homeowners going into the future. So, now, has everybody been through the home and looked at the specific faucets, fixtures, etc.?
I don't think we actually looked at them.
Maybe not specifically.
Yeah, I mean, we knew they were
Just
there.
the jewelry on the sink, yeah. Well, I'd encourage you to. I brought some literature on it today too. The literature highlights all, or has the entire Delta lineup in it, but each of the faucets that have that are part of the Water Sense program are specifically highlighted in there, so the consumer makes a good educated choice.
So when they say that it performs the same as a higher flow counterpart,
Right.
how do you measure performance?
That's a good question. There are a number of tests. Like when we get into the toilets, there's
for showers, I was thinking specifically.
Yeah, well, let's cover them all.
Familiar with it.
Yeah, there are industry standard tests that try to prove it, but at the end of the day, you know, performance is really a subjective matter. You know, how I feel in the shower is going to be completely different than how everybody else feels in the shower. And so we're talking about study groups. We're talking about there is rinse tests where they'll take a certain product that dissolves in water, they'll put it in there and expose it to the same duration, you know, and look for that kind of performance. But at the end of the day, it really comes down to how is it received by the consumer. So a lot of testing is done in that way, you know, how it actually feels. But you're right, it's subjective.
Is that third-party testing, or is it
Of
just Delta
course.
is saying that they outperform it?
Well, no, I mean, then again, that's where the Canadian Institute of Plumbing and Heating comes in too, is that they are a third-party group that really enforces that products that are manufactured are going to comply with their statements, you know, that they're going to be, you know, CSA approved, etc., that kind of thing. But where it comes down to, that's a pretty personal thing to measure. How do I feel in a shower? And obviously that, you know, how you feel in a shower, how quickly you get the soap off you, those things are important to every individual.
Are those Canadian gallons or US gallons?
Sorry?
Does
GPM?